Hi and welcome to this video. To be honest, I don't really know when this feature has been implemented into Studio One. I discovered about this like 2 days ago, but I think especially when you are struggling with how to set up a template or if a template makes sense at all, if you're struggling whether to use a template or not, if you're struggling with how to set up your sessions, your projects, then this video will hopefully be helpful to you. So first of all, let me show you how I would use it, and second, how you can set this up for yourself. Okay, so first of all, when does a template make sense? I think it makes sense for everyone when you do all the basic stuff that you need to do before you start working on a session. So you will probably route all your instruments that you're working with into group tracks or group buses, or you set up some kind of like insert effects or send and return effects, whatever. You set up maybe a ruler track, you set up your tempo track, you set up your signature track, whatever. Maybe you're setting up a strings folder. I already prepared this one here, so you see that I now have a strings folder here. Let me just minimize a little bit, shrink down here. And now you can go on and create all kinds of bus tracks, group buses or group tracks. And then you can save this one as a template. So I think these are all little steps that help you save a lot of time, because you do these things several times a week, depending how often you have to write music. But at the end of the year, we are talking about days. Okay, so now let's talk about this awesome feature. As you can see, I'm here in the Files tab. Basically, in the Files tab, you see your root directory of your computer, all the hard drives and everything. So you can throw any folder on any hard drive wherever you want to sit it, and then you can basically go in here. That's what I did with my AP patches folder, and you can set any folder to set as root. So whatever folder you set as root will be the main folder you're looking into right now. So in this folder, I created additional folders here that are basically instrument categories. You have strings here, brass, choir, cinematic percussion, drums, and so on. So you may be the person that loves templates, you know, maybe templates with 1,000, 5,000, or 10,000 tracks or whatever. For me personally, it doesn't really work. It can work, but I feel kind of like limited in my creativity. If I would also have like, you know, all the basic stuffs, all the basic instruments in there, I would tend to use these over and over again. But I just want to maybe, depending on the project, set up a different template, and therefore I need to be flexible. Okay, so maybe for this session, I would love to start working with legato strings only. So I can open my strings folder here, and you can see that I have maybe I want to start with my Vista legato strings. So you can click individual ones by holding holding the control key, but you can also hit shift and select these. So let's load my Vista legato strings to this session, and you just simply grab them and drag them right into the strings folder, and boom, depending of course on your loading time of your hard drives, I got all these instruments set up into the session. So you basically get the idea. You can create your session, your template, or your instruments that you need directly on the fly. So let's say I just want a few more of these strings here. Let's maybe not use too many because of the loading times. And then I just need some more epic percussions over here. So I could simply grab these. Maybe I just need this additional one here. And also maybe you are not sure which choir library you're about to use, then maybe you don't need to highlight these. So maybe you want to load several patches. So let's pretend there are lots of patches here in this one folder. So you can grab also the entire folder and just drag it right to your session, and it would load the content, all the patches that are inside this folder here. Okay, so now let's talk about how to set this all up, and you wouldn't believe it's actually very, very simple. So for first, what we do is collapsing all of these folders here. So let's create a patch of something that is not existing in here. So we create a new folder in here, for example, saying synth. So I got my synth folder in here, and what I want to do now is pick an instrument. Let's load Repro 1. I got that already here in my list, so let's drag it over. And for now, I don't have this patch created yet. So the process of setting up this instrument would be that you go to instrument and you drag it over. And imagine to do that with sample libraries. It's an easy example to do that with a synth right now, but imagine you have like orchestral tools, Berlin strings, you know, all kinds of gazillions of articulations, and you just want to load them into your session right away. So you don't need to go into Contact, set up each instrument or each patch in Contact. So how do we create this? When you open Repro, for example, right now, you see that this instrument is highlighted up here. Let's move to the files folder. This is important. So you see that this is highlighted here. If I would use over to this one, you would see that this instrument would be highlighted. So always make sure that you see this highlighted thing. Then you just you click this and you drag it over to this synth patch. So let's say you want to exactly recall that Repro 1 default patch. So you could leave it to the name Repro. Maybe you can hop over here and let's pick a different one. Let's pick Big Birdie. So you want to save this one. So you just move this over here and drag again. This is very important that you just grab this little thing here and then you move it over to the synth folder, and all you have to do right now is just rename the preset. So you could say, for example, R1 for Repro, and you can call it Big Birdie, whatever, just an example. And now you got this here. So let's delete Repro 1 from here, and let me just load both patches right away. So I would just drag and drop them in here. And for this one, you can see that it loaded the default patch, and up here, it loaded the Big Birdie patch. So this is absolutely amazing. I think it will save you tons of time, and it will keep you creative, flexible, whatever you need. And just in case, if you're always that guy like me that is struggling if a template makes sense or not. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful to you guys. You know the deal. If you like this video, smash that like button below. Subscribe to my channel in case you haven't already. Leave a comment. I would be happy to read from you. Thank you so much again for watching my video, and see you on the next one.